Hello, boxing fans. George Hansen here with Steve USS Cunningham, two-time cruiserweight champion who on Saturday will be fighting Krzysztof Głowacki at the Barclays Center in New York City. We just wanted to talk to Steve. It's Monday. You have about 5 days.
Yep.
Getting ready to do battle. How do you feel?
I'm comfortable. I'm relaxed. You know, I'm excited, and I'm just right now is the time when you tone down those butterflies, those nerves. It's like getting them under control, because it's like, whoa, nose nostrils start opening up. Man, we got 5 days, and it's 4 days, and it's 3 days, and it's all the way at the weigh-in. You know, so it's just, as a being a veteran in this thing, you learn how to keep yourself in that bubble. You know what I mean, and calm down. And then fight night, boom, you bust right out of that.
Okay, you're a two-time cruiserweight champion. A third world cruiserweight title, I believe, automatically puts you in the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
Wow.
What are your thoughts?
That'd be awesome. You know? That'd be beyond awesome. You know, I visited the Boxing Hall of Fame a couple times, and was a featured fighter, and then I won my second title. They featured me, so it was. I'm looking at all those names and plaques up on the wall, and it's like, man, it would be awesome to get here. I mean, beyond awesome. I mean, the big thing is being a world champion one time. But we were blessed to do it twice, and now we're facing a third time. It would, talking about legacy, man. That would help legacy something outstandingly, winning the third title, and then knowing that that's what happened. You get to go in the Hall of Fame.
You belong in the Hall of Fame now. Third time solidifies it. We're confident. I'm looking at your career. Let's talk about how you moved up to heavyweight. You had 8 fights at heavyweight. You went 4-3 with 1 draw. I had you going 7-1. 7-1. The only fight you lost was to Tyson Fury.
No doubt.
Let's talk about the recent draw with Antonio Tarver. I had you winning that fight.
Going into that fight, we already knew that first he was already suspended for illegal peds, steroids. He was just coming off a 2-year suspension. And then he came back, knocked out Jonathan Banks. So we know he's, one of the last things to go on a fighter, they say, is power. So Antonio Tarver was known for his power, his powerful straight left. He knocked out Roy Jones with it. He knocked out Jonathan Banks. He knocked out numerous guys with it. That was his claim to fame. So we knew that we knew that we had to instill that drug test. That extra drug test. Not the normal one, the extra one. I mean, here it is, you have a guy who's so famous, his fame precedes him. Been on Rocky.
That's true.
Decent commentator, very good commentator.
Very good commentator.
Very good. I ain't gonna hate on him. He's a good commentator. And look, an Olympian.
That's true.
The dude who beat Roy Jones.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So he is a superstar in boxing. He's known throughout the world, and a multi-division champion. So with that being said, we fought on his network, Spike. Listen, I'm a veteran. I understand business. I know it wasn't going to be too much for Steve Cunningham. It's all Tarver, and it was. You hear the commentary, the build up, and so it's cool. I understand. My thing is to get in here and beat this man. So when I fought him, I was throwing punches, working him, hitting him with some shots. I hit him with a few shots that I was like, wow, that didn't move him, but I was moving guys in camp with him. So, but in the fight, you keep going. That you say, wow, that ain't moving. Boom, or here it is again. Here it is again. So I noticed, from the beginning, he just didn't want to engage. He wanted to engage under his terms.
He was staying back, trying to get you in.
Looking like he was doing something, and in my mind, that was hurting him. But in actuality, that was him bamboozling everybody. Because his star power. When you have star power like that, you just get in the ring and shimmy for half the round, and then throw 6 punches, and if one land, because everybody's looking at you, you're the star. But they didn't see Steve Cunningham throw 700 punches, for some reason, versus Antonio Tarver's 420 or so. So, I mean, with numbers like that, how do you even come close to winning a fight unless you landed every big shot you threw? And he caught me with, I think, 4 big shots throughout the 12-round fight. That was that.
But I score with my eyes. I don't listen to the commentators,
no doubt.
and I had you winning that fight. Another big fight, you fought Glaskov, and that was so egregious that we all had the right to the IBF, petition the IBF. What fight were the judges watching? I was hoping they overturned the decision.
I was too. I mean, you know, listen, I've been dealing with this situation so much in my career with the IBF. Also, I know they're sick of me filing protests here.
Right.
You know, but it's cool. You know, they came through.
Okay.
Did what they supposed to do on most of them.
Okay.
But it seems like on this, I mean, even on this Glaskov one, we didn't even enforce it. We didn't get behind it and push it because we're just like, it's the same old thing. I was like, rematch him for what? You know, I mean, I beat him, but I mean, I would have rematched him, but who would have bought that? You know, because Glaskov didn't perform. That's another thing. It's like I nullified his performance, his good performance. You know,
you made him look bad.
Made him look bad, and this is the Olympian.
Right.
This is the kid with the big management behind him. Even main events. We all know main events is into. You know, they're in the boxing business and European fighter. You know, so with Adamic and then Glaskov. So I understood where I stood, and you know, in there. But again, I'm a fighter. He's got to beat me. I'm not going. You know, I can beat him. I know I can beat him. So I get in there and did what I did as a cruiserweight. You know, fighting these heavyweights again, and I shined. But the robbery was disappointing because I worked so hard to get to that spot, and that was to fight Vladimir. You know, the number one spot, and you could see it in my face. Like it was like I was a ghost. You know, just like I saw a ghost. Like as soon as they read it, and I was just like, wow. And what else can you do? Flip a table, punch a judge, what? You know?
You won the fight. You didn't get the decision.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the move back down to cruiserweight where you dominated.
Well, immediately, I mean literally in the locker room, actually on the way back to the locker room after the Tarver fight, like out the ring.
Okay.
The promoter for the fight, Lou DiBella, he was sitting there and he was like, Steve, because I weighed in at 203 for the Tarver fight.
Oh man.
But I felt good and strong, you know. Listen, our whole understanding of moving to heavyweight, which I tried to do the 210 to 215, couldn't do it. I weighed 210 one time, that was the Fury fight, and that was, I drunk a gallon of milk before I got on the scale.
Man.
You know, so I was literally like 206, 205 for that fight. But this Tarver fight, I'm on my way back to the locker room, and Lou DiBella stops me and is like, listen, Steve, drop back down to cruiserweight, man. He's like, that's where you belong. Like, these dudes are too big. You do hit hard and this and that, but it doesn't show. You know, this and that. So I ain't want to hear that crap. I'm like, all right, Lou, all right. You know, Lou's my man. Shout out to Lou. But at that time, I got out the ring and I was just infuriated because I heard the word draw.
Right.
And Tarver and them cheered when they said draw.
Oh, they got that early Christmas gift.
Yeah, they were happy. So I was very disappointed. So I walked back and I sat down in the locker room and I was angry and I said, you know what, these judges, either the judges, they got it out for me, or they just don't understand what I'm doing as a heavyweight. You know, they don't understand. They don't want to see the heavyweights boxing and using speed. They want to see the heavyweights ding ding, come in, boom boom, knockdowns, knockouts. That's all they want to see. And you're not going to get that from Steve Cunningham. I'm not a heavyweight, so they know that, and that's been the word that's been going around. And I believe anything. I don't know if it's a word that came down from the boxing gods or something, but it's like, don't give Steve Cunningham anything close or anything. You know, it's like
you're being diplomatic, and that's your position. But as a journalist, I can say
some total bull.
I believe that these judges are crooked.
I think, no doubt. Don't get me wrong.
I believe they're crooked.
The judges are. I believe there are crooked judges out there. I believe there are great stand-up judges out there. But I think a lot of judges are motivated. A lot of these judges are motivated by trips, you know, credentials or shows. I mean, these are paid shows. These are paid trips. Hey, we got a fight in Rio.
Exactly.
Man, I want to be the judge for that fight. Well, look out for me here. You know, that's what possibly happens. Prime example, my fight with Adamic, my second fight with Tomas. The 10th round was hands down my best round. The one judge who was Polish and the other European judge or European American judge gave those rounds to Adamic. And we're like, yo, that was my best round. I mean, I was already kicking his butt, but that was my best round, hands down. And it's like, how did he get, like, they must have just already had the round scored.
Yeah.
You know, so then you see the debacle at the end it's a draw. Well, hold up, we messed up. Let's go back. It's a split decision for Adamic. So it's a lot of crookedness in boxing, man. And between the judges and promoters, there's a lot of crookedness, man.
I'm convinced. Talk to us about your mentality, man. We know this adage gets overused so many times in boxing. Everybody's such a nice guy. And I've seen a lot of fighters who are truly what they say they are.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know that there are a lot of things you do behind the scenes by helping people out. I can talk about one incident. 5-6 years ago, we were speaking, Renee Akins, the boxing diva, matchmaker, promoter. I asked her to speak at Sears Junior High in West Philadelphia. And we also had another fighter speaking. We were doing it as a favor to my friend Mike Robinson, who was a counselor, Pastor Mike. I know he'll be watching. But the person couldn't show up, and Renee and I were stuck out there. She picked up the phone and called you. And you were there within a half an hour. You were the cruiserweight champ. You had the belt. You spent 3 hours with the kids out there. Never made it on TV, was never written about. But those are some of the things that you do day in and day out. Talk to me about your social consciousness.
First, you're dealing with a guy who I won both of my titles in Europe.
Right.
I come home, there's no news.
Right.
There's nobody waiting for us at the airport.
Right.
I defended my title over in Europe.
Right.
A few times. Same thing, come home, there's nobody waiting for us. I can walk down the street, nobody recognizes me, which I'm totally cool with. I am very cool with that, you know. But world champion, you know, 2-time world champion, and that, it never bothered me because my whole thing has been just to accomplish what I said I would accomplish. As long as I make, you know, I'm able to make enough money to provide for my family, and which even then, like as I vocalized, I haven't made that type of money at that time. So,
but where do you give for a guy who they've robbed you? You haven't gotten the recognition you deserve, but yet you continue to help so many people, man. Well, because a lot of guys wouldn't have showed up that day a half an hour later. Because
I put myself, listen, I'm a follower of the Bible, you know, I'm a follower of the Most High. I believe what he says, you know what I mean? And it says, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. So I put myself in people's shoes. When Renee called me, it's like, man, these kids, these people, we need to look out. It's for the kids, it's for this, it's for that. I know when I was a kid, who was the champion at the time? Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson.
Right.
If they would have came to my school or whatever, I know that would have done something great for me. You know, moral-wise, you know, attitude-wise, for them to tell me this and to be able to talk to me. I just know the effects of a star, somebody famous or important, coming to talk to these ghetto kids, these kids in the hoods who don't get these opportunities. All they see is death, drugs, or not all, but a lot of the time, it's bad stuff. So it's like my honor and my duty to do these things, to come through. And then it's like, what else am I going to do? You know what I mean? Like, I can't say no to that. You know, I'm not a clubber anymore. You know, I don't go to the bar. I don't chase women. You know, I probably brought my sons with me or something. You know, I keep my family with me. You know, and I'm leading by example for them. So, it's what you're supposed to do on this level. It's like, people think, okay, I box, I fought, I got my check, I'm rich, I got the belt, I'm champion, I'm famous, I'm cool. But it's like, with great responsibility, with great things comes greater responsibility. So it's like a side job to an extent that shows your character. And you know, I just enjoy it. You know?
And we appreciate you coming down here, and Chris, Tony, and I didn't have to go through 3 layers of management to have you here. I need to.
Simple, man. I just keep it simple. My wife's one manager. You know, the team, we're like family. You know, we just keep it simple. I don't have entourage. I can't do that, man. You know what I mean? mentally I have to stay. I'm you. I'm everybody. You know what I mean? I came from Philly. I used to work at FedEx. I was in the Navy. You know, I clean airplanes.
Right.
You know, I'm just a normal person, man. So I don't ever want to get to that point where I get so famous you can't touch me. You know what I'm saying? Not touch me, but literally you can't talk to me without talking to somebody, you know, or hey Steve, oh I don't talk to you because I'm Steve Cunningham. Man, that's bogus. I never do that. After I used to fight when I was coming up, before I got to the title, when I was main event and I would be on the undercard, I would go into the crowd after the fight and sit down. And I'm a boxing fan, so I sit down and watch the rest of the fight. But I'll be with the fans or with people and just meet people. I met a lot of people that I'm friends with today, and that was in 04, 05, 06.
That's true.
So it's just, you know.
I mentioned that because there's a famous middleweight, light heavyweight champ, Philly middleweight, light heavyweight champ, who will remain nameless, that I've known most of my life. Saw him a couple years ago and wanted to do a story on him before he was trying to break a record. He gave me a card and said, call my publicist. Now, he must not know I'm from Jamaica. It's going to snow in Jamaica before I ever call his publicist. I'm not calling your publicist. Call my publicist. But I won't. That person will remain anonymous.
You know, some people, they do their thing, man. They got to do what they do their way. You know what I mean? Understandable. But for me, but you know what? Me and my wife, when we came back to America, stopped getting promoted from overseas, stopped being in obscurity. Now we're on NBC. You know, the story is out about our daughter, about our life, what we've been going through, and we started getting fans behind that.
Oh, you do have a lot of fans.
No doubt now. But, you know, I got more fans without a belt than I did having 2 belts. So, with that being said, me and my wife experienced some of the hazing, the trolling, the internet suckers. You know, we've experienced that, and it's like, wow, we're not even famous like that, and this is what we're getting. And so we put up a Danny Garcia, a B-Hop, a Danny Jacobs. We were like, man, imagine a Kid Chocolate, imagine the crap they get. You know, these dudes are famous. You know, imagine what they get, like on this little level that we're on. We're still getting heckled, you know, still getting people that just say whatever. They feel they can say whatever to you. And it's like, dude, I know you're not running. I see your profile pic. I know you don't do a third of what I do. How dare you judge me, or not even judge me, but how dare you say anything negative against what I've tried to do against an athlete? You know, it is what it is, man. So we understand how come some guys at that level are standoffish. You know? But me, I just, from the gate, is how we put ourselves out there to where we could never be standoffish, no matter how much money we make. Because, I mean, we don't, listen, you won't ever see me driving a Bentley. You won't ever see me driving, cars that cost more than houses. $100,000 houses or something. You know, I'm not a real big jewelry guy. You know, I mean, I just try to be simple and live simple, live smart.
You know, but some people, I do understand everybody's trying to reach some of these superstars, but I do understand the people you grow up with and the people you know.
True.
I have friends who have done immensely well in business. Friend who's a major partner in a major law firm in LA. When he comes to Philly, we still go to the small little Jamaican restaurant on South Street. If I call him right now, he's going to return my call. But it is what it is, and only few fighters, a lot of fighters, very few people can maintain the level of humbleness that you have over the years, and I got to applaud you for that.
I'm just being real, man. I'm just being me. You know, there's times where you see you can slip off into I'm so and so, or me being a follower of the Most High keeps me in line. I ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't nothing in His eyes like that. You know what I mean? So anything I can do on this earth doesn't equate to, you know what I'm saying, to what He's done for me in my life spiritually and physically. So that keeps me grounded and rooted, and I'm good. You know?
Talk to me about your journey with your daughter. Brother Nazim said, he asked a question, Who has more heart than Steve Cunningham? He didn't get off the canvas because of his daughter.
Yeah.
He's going to get off the canvas regardless, because that is who he is.
Yeah. I mean, with my daughter, you know, we're in a good place. It's not safe, but it's a little more comfortable than it was in 2014. She got the transplant. You know, the heart is going good. We always have, like even to this morning, my wife woke me up, said she had to take Kennedy to the emergency room. Some breathing issues, and she's constantly throwing up. Because we always got to watch her, you know, because something could go wrong, you know.
Okay.
And then we're just like that with her.
Okay.
So my wife spent the night in the ER with her. But it's like, it's always little situations here and there, little something. But the overall picture, great. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We know the heart isn't the problem, and we want to just make sure we keep it like that. So, with what Nazim said and with my heart, it's just fighting, man. I have to fight. I have to fight to eat. You know, I have to fight to live. There's things that I want my kids to experience that I didn't.
Right.
Not everything. You know, they shouldn't experience. They shouldn't. I don't want to buy them the world.
Right.
I want them to work and stuff.
Right.
But there's things I want to do with my children. You know, while they're still in my household. My son is 13. My oldest son is 13. We got
tugboat.
Yeah, tugboat. We got 4 more years with him. If you look at it, and then he'll be 17, 18, graduating on his way out to the world.
Right,
so and we kicking him out. You know, he gonna do something. You know, it ain't no you stay at home unless we got our plan together. But initially, we want him to go experience the world. So we've got literally like 4.5 more years with him. So there's things I want to do with him. My nephew lives with me. He's 11.
Right.
My daughter's 10. You know, my 5-year-old Cruz. And we got more years of his crazy butt. But there's things I want to experience with them with a little money in my pocket.
Right.
You know, with a little comfortability. So when I fight, that's on my mind. I want to help educate them, future education, send them to school. Little Steve wants to learn how to make video games.
Man,
I need money to send him to school for that. You know, so and I don't mean to make boxing be all about money, but it is my job, and when you work, you get paid.
That's your point.
I love boxing. I enjoy staying in shape. I enjoy the challenge of beating somebody or trying to, you know, and I enjoy victory.
Right.
and really, this may sound sad, but I grow from defeat. You know what I mean? From the robberies and from just getting, you know, from loss. So, and that's all good because it all works to the greater good. You know what I mean? For those who love the Lord, I love or love Yahuwah. I love him. You know, so I use everything he brings, and we just for the better. So when I get knocked down, I'm just like, gotta get up.
Gotta get up.
I'm thinking like, if I lose this, it messes my money up. It messes my standing. It messes my ranking up. You know, so it's an urgency.
I gotta apologize for the viewers. I have a cold, and I'm drinking Dunkin' Donuts coffee with a cold, but that's why I'm sitting over here. Let's talk about Saturday's opponent.
Yeah.
You guys had a similar opponent, Marcus Huck. You beat Marcus Huck. He stopped Huck. Let's discuss this fight and the challenger.
I mean,
and the champion, rather.
Yeah. Glavatsky basically did what fight fans like to see.
Right.
He took the belt from the champion. He took it.
He took it.
Stopped. You know, great. Marco Huck was on his roll. He was on a roll for, I think, a record of 20 defense, something like that. He was on a historic roll, and Glavatsky stopped it.
He did.
He beast moded him. He was, you know, it was up and down, back and forth. He was losing on the cards, but he stepped it up, and that's championship heart right there. With that being said, I know what I had to bring to the table.
Okay.
I got to bring my championship heart, and we're gonna go here and make fireworks Saturday. And I'm not one of them guys who predict. Like I said again, I'm a believer in the Most High, who says let His will be done. So if it's His will for this kid to win, I got to be content with that.
Okay.
But He gonna have to show me it's His will, because I'm gonna give it my all. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have to show me, yo, Steve, chill. Hey man, I knocked you down once.
Okay.
I knocked you down twice. You got knocked down twice. You got knocked down 3 times, bro. It's for him to win. Stop fighting so hard. You know, that's how it's gonna have to be if it gets like that. You know, you gotta show me. So I'm gonna keep fighting. I'm gonna keep going. My goal is to win and be 3-time world champion. But I do know there's a will.
Okay.
Now, but maybe it's for me to win, you know. So we'll see. We'll only see when we get in there and do it, you know. I got this one saying. Afterwards, I speak to kids at the schools, and they ask me, "Is it easy?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's easy after you do it." You know, it's always easy after you do it. You know what I'm saying? Then you can look back and be like, "Oh yeah, that was easy. It's over." But you know, it's hectic. You know, it's hectic.
And a lot of people are now realizing, besides a boxer, you're an artist.
Oh yeah.
At the media day last week, you gave away original drawings, and I got one. The Jean-Michel Basquiat of boxing, or Basquiat. I mean, talk to me about your drawing in your comic book that's coming out.
Well, you know, I started USS Comics, and basically turning myself into a superhero.
Okay.
It's sort of a fictional autobiography. I'm just using certain things out of my life, like my Navy, me being in the Navy, me coming from Philly, the gym I work out of is my headquarters as a superhero. My trainers are in the comic book. Some guys I work out with are in the comic.
The brother Nazim is in the comic book. Superhero.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna release a pic I got of him. No, not a superhero. He doesn't have any superpowers, but you know, his training is just impeccable.
He got some superpowers, man, because
he's like Batman.
when you got put down by Mansoor, I saw brother Nazim, and you got up, so.
yeah, no doubt, man. That's a family thing too. So yeah, Nazim is more like Batman.
Okay.
He doesn't have any powers, but he's that dude. So he trains me, allows me to you know, manifest my powers and abilities in a way to stop the opponents. To stop the opponents and
1 second. I don't mean to stop. Gentlemen, could you all keep... Let's continue.
So with brother Nazim basically trains me strategy-wise, like he does in fights, in order to break down my opponents. Now, the opponents in the comic book have characteristics of guys that I fought, characteristics of Adamic, characteristics of Krzysztof Ludarczyk, Guillermo Jones, Mark Kelvin Davis, you know, just characteristics from these guys I've stolen from them and put it into these characters. So like Krzysztof Ludarczyk from Poland, his fight name is Diablo.
Oh, the devil.
I took and made him, you know, have some devil horns. You know? Took and made that character have devil horns and called him Diablo. You know, just built like that. Imagination, fun. I love to draw. I love superheroes. I love it. So it's just fun, man. And then now it's gotten pretty big, and I see the interest in it, and my art has changed and gotten better.
It's very good.
So I just can't wait, man. I got more and more to come, man. It's gonna be great.
And I apologize. I know Chris probably edited that out, but leave it in there. We're in a boxing gym. We're gonna have noise.
Yep, that's cool.
HBO or Showtime or Premier Boxing. They haven't given us a budget.
Yeah,
so.
right.
But Don, man, I appreciate you coming down. Let the fans know why they should tune in on Saturday.
All right. This is Steve USS Cunningham. Tune in Saturday, April 16th, NBC. This is my go at the 3rd world title, and you will not be disappointed. I fight to the death. I fight with heart. I fight with intelligence. And Philly, we're gonna bring this belt back.
Folks, there you have it. Steve USS Cunningham, who will make it 3 in a row. This man is about to solidify his place in the International Boxing Hall of Fame by becoming a 3-time cruiserweight champion. I'm saying this to Mayor Jim Kenney. You had a parade for Villanova. Congratulations for winning the national championship, basketball championship. Let's start planning the parade for Steve Cunningham down Broad Street. The belt is coming back to Philly. Thank you for watching Boxing 396. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Cause you corrupt, the ghetto youths, we don't know wicked act, don't know Babylon. When me walk, I trample down Babylon. Talk and ride down Babylon. Who know always there with your clans and plans, walk up trapping the man, who no think, who no can